What's up, everyone? We have the Spider-Man cast, the core Spider-Man cast, anyways, and the changes that they have undergone. A lot of fans in the community seem to be a little confused. I can see why. The developers also probably need to come in and maybe talk a little bit about this in maybe an exposition just to give their reasoning. Insomniac has reached a place where their community trusts them very well, like them a lot, and look forward to what it is that they're doing. So, just a simple conversation about these character model changes from a story perspective, a plot perspective, a time progression perspective may just help put things in, a better perspective. It's not a game breaker. Game mechanics are the big thing for me. I've never really worried too much about plot and story in superhero games, believe it or not. And the reason is known to most of you. Superhero games have a lot of, material that you can use to kind of like pinpoint whatever a game is about to tell you. So you're not really going to be too shocked or surprised. You'll be wowed by certain unveilings, but nothing is really going to jump you out of your seat and shoot you into space in that regard. So I usually go in for game mechanics, a little bit of aesthetics, not really, a big deal, but those are my core things. Now, having seen these conversations going on X, formerly Twitter, it is interesting, though, to see that the changes that Miles has are, they're kind of different. He looks a little skinnier in a sense. It's like they're trying to model him to the Spider-Verse Miles, which I don't know exactly what the reasoning is for that, but hey, it is what it is. It doesn't really seem to make too much of a difference. I think it looks good. And over the 10 years, he just looked like he don't crack. Sorry, I had to throw that out there, but it's actually a nice design. Another one is Peter Parker. I mean, Peter seems like he's been putting down a bunch of cold ones. And I guess this screenshot may also be, just that one screenshot that somebody took. And then it just became, oh, this is a screenshot. But from a physiological perspective, I feel like Peter, should also maintain a certain, structure of someone who is very physically active. You are Spider-Man. He's not just a Peter Parker that's just sitting in a lab doing some random, jumbo mumbo. So this is something that I think the developers probably need to talk about. And maybe they don't want to talk about it. Maybe there's a story side to it that would unveil why we see Peter like this. You never know. Now, the one that is the most confusing and the one that I left for this last part is Mary J. I don't really know, man. I strongly believe that, Mary Jane's transformation here is a design decision to just freshen up. And I think it gives me what I suspected, and it's still a hypothesis, that it's probably an effort to just refresh the entire look of the game and the cast to not make it seem overly generic because they're iterating a continuation of a story. So we can chalk it up in all kinds of ways. You can go far conspiracy like, yo, they're basically making these models look really weird because of some, really strange set of conclusions that somebody can come with. Or you can go with the very simple, they just want to make it look a little fresh. Or maybe there's a story beat behind all of this that's going to give us a better context and a better explanation as to what's going on. Could be Peter's under a lot of Brock stress. It's not Brock. Oh, sorry. There's a venom that's already infected him, and it's just kind of giving him, some kind of a weird physiological tweak overall. It could be. This is something that you have to consider as a superhero fan. You cannot come out and just eventually throw everything out there and throw the baby with the bathwater. So seeing the conversations on Twitter is interesting as to how people are approaching it. But then at the end of the day, I just strongly believe that we can just kind of calm down, get a little bit more in terms of unveiling. And I think things will probably fall into perspective and we'll be able to get exactly, why these decisions were made. I've never really gotten a lot of clarity as to why they did a new character for the remastered, other than they just wanted to make sure that the effort looked fresh so that they could sell another, game with the justification that, hey, we're making a fresh version of the Spider-Man game from 2018 using a whole different character. I guess those are some things that you have to look into the economics and all that. Not saying it's bad, just saying, it's a thing that I wish we had gotten a little bit more of an explanation for, or maybe we did and I just missed the memo. But nonetheless, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What in the world do you think about these physiological changes, all of the different transformations that the most popular superhero in the world, and his cast have gone through, are going through. The conversation is going on all over the place. And yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit more about this. In other in other videos. And yeah, it's interesting what the internet comes up when you search Mary Jane in Spider-Man 2. You're really gonna see a lot of really wild stuff out here. But talk to me. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.